Good afternoon, everybody. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net, coming to you live and direct from Valrico, Florida. Trying out a new approach to getting these videos up on YouTube at a little bit better quality. Hopefully this will work out well. We're going to do a little bit of a pregame lead-in to the Bucs game tonight down in Miami at 7:30 against the Dolphins. We're going to cover a couple of things that we talked a little bit about on our show on Monday. I'd like to remind people who are listening to this, we do have a live show on Mondays and Thursdays at www.whatthebuck.net, 7 o'clock Eastern. Tune in. Video players right there on the homepage. Obviously, none of this is of any charge. This is about fans getting our opinions out and talking about the thing we love the most, which are the Buccaneers. Coming into the Dolphins game, obviously preseason has a couple of major goals, one of which is to find out where the heck we are with these rookies and free agents that may have come in the offseason and decide the roster positions and the depth charts at all these positions. Now, the Bucs, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, don't have a lot of questions with regards to their depth chart, but we do have a number of rookies or guys like Sappy Piscatelli who haven't been able to play due to injury or numbers that we want to be able to evaluate. The primary objective is to get out of these things healthy with plenty of game tape. It would be nice to get a win as well psychologically, and to that end, we're going to take a look at a couple of players going into this game that we want to see some output from. First and foremost, we have Luke McCown. Luke McCown is our current number 2 quarterback. He's got a lot of talent. I think a lot of the people here at WhatTheBuck.net believe Luke has all of the capabilities to become that quarterback of the future. I know that a lot of people are very high on Josh Johnson because of the numbers that he had coming out of college, but the reality of that situation, in our opinion, is that he is a project. It's going to take a number of years for him to get to the point where he can compete at this level, and that's fine. A project is not a problem as long as you've got someone who can step in after Jeff Garcia decides to hang him up, which will probably not be very long in the future given his age and general health. The problem with Luke has been not his physical abilities. He's got the gun, he's got the wheels, and he knows the system. The problem has been he usually does at least one incredibly stupid thing per game, and we need him to stop doing those things. He needs to be a more intelligent quarterback. It has nothing to do with anything around his mechanics or anything else. The second player we want to look at is Ernest Graham. Ernest came on strong last year, made John Gruden's dad look like a genius, and had a terrific end of the year, put up a lot of touchdowns in addition to a lot of yards. Now the question is, can he come back after that and back that season up now that defense has a year of tape on him? He's got a great offensive line he's running behind, so if he can repeat that performance, then tremendous. We've got a good stable of running backs as well. So we have a unique situation where we can have a guy like Ernest who can pound the ball in the middle, and then he can always toss it outside to a guy like Michael Bennett or Warrick Dunn to get around the edge. So the big thing is going to be, can Ernest be the guy that continually moves those sticks for us, because that's going to be important for John's offense to establish that running game and then go off play action. Third, Gaines Adams. Obviously the big rookie signing last year, had a slow start to the season but ended up coming on pretty strong towards the end. We're hoping this was a maturation of Gaines' game. He's in great shape this year coming into camp. The question just becomes, can he follow up that first year with a strong sophomore year a la Mario Williams? We're not sure whether that strong back end was because Greg White was having such a great year or what the situation actually was. But the fact of the matter is we need him to be strong on that other end of the line, provide that pass rush that we need, especially in conjunction with one of the rookies we're going to talk about here in a second. So that's on the offensive side of the ball primarily going into this game. Obviously, we expect guys like Derek Brooks and Rondé Barber to do what they do if they're in the game at all. We expect to see Barrett Ruud be able to play, right? These are things that we just kind of expect coming in under Monty Kiffin. We have a lot of rookies we need to do some evaluation of, though. We had a good rookie class. They've looked good in training camp. We're going to talk about them as well. Some of the rookies we want to pay attention to are going to be on the screen next. The first rookie I want to focus on is Dre Moore, big tackle. He's been doing really well in training camp. He gets good push. He's a bigger guy than we normally have on that line. I'd love to see someone next to Chris Hovan that can take advantage of those single blocks. Jovan Hay did not do a particularly good job of that last year. Now, Jovan's got a lot of talent. He's just got to know that anytime he has a single block, he should win that battle. And this means that this is sort of a twofold win, a win-win scenario with Dre Moore, where if he performs well, that's terrific. And if he performs well, hopefully that'll push Jovan into better play. The more defensive linemen we have who are putting out good minutes, the better off we are as we play sort of line by committee. So this is I think it's a terrific pickup and should provide a tremendous push in the middle of the pocket, which we haven't had in the past. We've always had edge rush since Warren Sapp left. Booger McFarland never really turned into the guy that the defensive team or the defensive coaches had hoped he would be. So if we have a guy who can collapse that pocket a la Rocky Bernard, I think we're going to be much better off. It'll push that activity into the secondary, where we have some ball hawks back there like Sabby Piscatelli, who's essentially like a redshirt freshman here. He didn't get a chance to play last year. Anyone who's been out to training camp knows this guy's got a nose for the ball, and he loves to hit. Right? I'm not going to say he's the next John Lynch. That was a very played-out concept when he came in. I think all you're talking about here is it was another white safety, which is kind of sad that was why people made the comparison. He definitely does like to hit. He's not John Lynch. Maybe he'll grow into John Lynch someday. Who knows? That's a hell of a pair of shoes to try and fill. I'm happy with him just being Sabby Piscatelli, being out there running all over the place, making plays on the ball, using his instincts, and then putting in a lick from time to time. But the question is his talent good enough that he can push Flip for time? Because Flip played really well last year. He's looked tremendous under Raheem Morris. So the worst case scenario is we have 3 tremendous safeties that can get in there and provide terrific overcovers for our cornerbacks. The third rookie that we're going to talk about is Dex Jackson. There's been a lot of noise on the local radio channels about Dex Jackson was a waste of a pick. This was a bad move to just pick someone who may or may not even get into the special teams rotation. Well, with his speed, he's going to get into the rotation. Michael Spurlock has looked phenomenal in camp, and so he's certainly going to keep him pushed off. If Dex can show that he can catch the ball on punt returns and kick returns, that's the biggest key, right? The trick is first you field it, then you try and advance it. That's why Ike Hilliard returned punts for us, guys. I know that it wasn't exciting or fun or interesting, but Ike didn't drop the ball. Right, so Dex is going to have to show in special teams that he can actually make an impact. And to be honest, he's looked pretty good as a receiver, too. I think that if you have a guy like Galloway on one side and Dex on the other side, you put a really difficult situation in front of a defense where they have to respect both of those guys to the edge with their safeties, which leaves the seam routes open. And assuming that our offensive line can actually block without any assistance from the tight end, that gives us a terrific opportunity to hit a guy like Alex Smith or Jeremy Stevens or Ben Troop, who's looked phenomenal as well. On those seam routes, or even one of our backs coming out of the backfield, getting him in one-on-one with a linebacker and with plenty of space to go create YAC, or yards after catch. I love that acronym. So those are some of the players we want to watch. We're going to watch those guys coming into the Dolphins game tonight. I'll probably come out here and try and do a halftime update as well. If you have any questions or comments about what we're talking about, fire them into questions@whatthebuck.net. Again, we are live Mondays and Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Hopefully we will see you over there, and thanks so much for watching.